Today's video is dedicated to the topic of a stick. But my goal is to present you with an Israeli approach through a Krav-Maga instructor with experience in training in Israel Defense Forces against a guide who claims to be an Israeli Krav-Maga fighter. The goal is to understand the difference, if any, between the Israeli approach and the approach of the same instructor from abroad. First of all, why did I decide to make this comparison? Many schools abroad today present themselves as an Israeli Krav-Maga method. All over the world they look at it and say, but it's not realistic. After going through a lot of such videos myself, unfortunately, I agree with certain claims. And today I want to show you, friends, the subtle differences between the two. Again, I must point out that abroad there are real experts in Israeli Krav-Maga and self-defense who teach real Israeli Krav-Maga. But this video is dedicated to the exceptional, who claim to be real Krav-Maga. So let's see if this is so. After all, real Krav-Maga was born in Israel, and better than in the Israeli security forces, no one in the world knows what it is. Hi dear friends, with you is Gil Pelik from the Fitness Warriors Club. Enjoy watching. According to an Israeli instructor, first of all, one must understand the philosophy behind self-defense against a stick. He says that the most dangerous part of the stick is the tip at the end of it. And what is meant? When hitting with the stick, it can be argued that energy and power at the end of the stick are the highest. The instructor adds that our main goal is to reduce this energy. Okay, so what does he mean? When a stick starts its movement, the energy is very small, but with continued momentum, it increases. Here is the most important point: at a certain moment the energy of the stick is maximum. The goal of self-defense against the stick is not to let him acquire this energy and to curb it as quickly as possible. For this purpose, an Israeli instructor places emphasis on the timing of performing a defense exercise. In other words, before we talk about how to prepare ourselves, we talk about a theoretical solution for self-defense. After the Israeli instructor explains the risk and a theoretical solution from the stick, only then does he try to show the two accepted methods in an Israeli contact battle. When he explains an old technique and also explains about a new technique, he tries to answer why a new technique is better than an old one. And pay attention. To the eye, the techniques look almost the same. But there is a fundamental difference between the two. An Israeli instructor claims that the first step in defense against the stick is identifying it. He also explains that the range to the attacker is a significant element. The instructor goes on to explain the old drill against a stick attack. So in the old exercise, self-defense was performed by entering at an appropriate time when the victim was supposed to get as close as possible to the attacker. When the attack was carried out with the right hand, the victim was supposed to approach with a straight left hand, fingers together, and with the right hand closed in a fist, which performs a neutralizing blow to the attacker's jaw. The rationale is that the stick will slide across the hand, and the other hand gives a counter blow to the jaw or face. The instructor explains what is the disadvantage of this exercise. According to him, you cannot know the angle of the attack. That is, the blow may come at 180 degrees from above or at any other angle. It can be 180 degrees plus or minus. The instructor claims that in this case, the stick will hurt the victim. In the worst case scenario for the vulnerable, the stick will penetrate between a flat hand and a fist. This will cause an unavoidable injury of the stick to the head. That is, the old exercise is very dangerous to perform. According to the Israeli instructor, the attacker's second problem could be to move back and immediately hit a second and third time, and the stick hit also hurts the victim. That is, the exercise is problematic and does not provide a realistic solution to the problem of the attack with the stick. Also, in the old exercise, if the stick was detected from below, then the victim would go directly into the attacker's hand and perform an immediate arm lock, and as a result, unarm it from the attacker's hand. An Israeli instructor explains the second, newer approach, when the rationale for it is versatility. What does that mean? During the attack with the stick, the victim has no way of knowing the angle of the attack because there is an element of pressure and time. That is, the response must be quick and optimal. Therefore, according to the instructor, a new method was developed. That is a mud defense exercise, by entering with hands close to each other. When the head is as low as possible, and the arms cover it completely. It must be noted that the hands are close to each other so as not to allow the stick to penetrate inside, into the head. Also, the instructor says that you must break forward at the right time. Note his emphasis. The instructor sharpens the subject of the obligation to break forward at an appropriate time. That is, reducing the range to 0 in front of the opponent makes it possible to reduce to almost 0 the risk of being hit by the stick at its final end, where the energy and power are very high. Now pay attention to a Krav-Maga instructor from abroad who claims that his defense against a stick attack is realistic. We will try to compare it with the real Israeli approach. When I remind you of the philosophy of the approach, both in the old method and in the new method. That is, we must enter at the most suitable timing for the opponent. The goal is to reduce the energy and power of the stick. Pay attention to the unrealistic attack first of all. It seems as if the attacker is squinting and intending to hit a tree that is not there. That is, the attack is unrealistic. Now, let's see if the instructor's defense is effective according to Israeli Krav-Maga's philosophy. Did he go in hard towards the attacker? No. Was it a matter of timing in performing an exercise? No. Did he use one of the Israeli methods, i.e. new or old? No. He stood statically and did self-defense against a stick, which is against all the rules of Israeli Krav-Maga. It is possible that he invented a new method? I may not say no, but why does he claim that it is realistic Krav-Maga? It is possible that it is real, we need to check. But it is definitely not Krav-Maga. Dear friends, the exercises, as you can see, are very similar until you do a thorough analysis of them, and then you see huge differences that will determine a real attack on life and death. Dear friends, hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel, hit the bell below for more updates, and share this video on social networks. And don't forget to write in your comments what you think about this. With you is Gil Pellick from the Fitness Warriors Club. Thanks for watching. Dear friends, thank you for listening. If you liked our video, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell below to get an update on our new posts.